Welcome to another episode of the Pink Sofa Hour. I am your host, Pedro, and I am joined here today by Cellar Smellar, the smelliest of cellars. Hello, gentlemen.
Hey, Pedro.
Hello, Pedro.
Hey guys.
Hello.
How are you guys doing today?
Doing fantastic.
That is so fantastic
I'm
to
doing
hear.
good too.
How about
Yeah,
over
I'm
there
good.
on the other
I've
side of
been good at today.
the
Yeah.
extended couch?
Yeah, I'm good.
Excellent. Excellent. Why don't you guys introduce yourselves? Starting with...
I'm Pedro. I
Oh,
am
no.
the lead guitarist of
Oh, no.
Cellar Smellar.
I'm also Pedro.
What do you do?
I play drums.
Oh my god.
I'm Pedro, I play the bass.
Pedro here. Played the guitar as well.
Okay, well, I guess since you guys want me to do it, this is Mikey, Sean, Jake,
Pedro.
and Pedro.
We also have chef names, though.
What's your name?
I already said that. My name is
Oh,
Pedro.
yeah. That's right.
So,
That doesn't make any sense.
You guys are scrambling my brain with the whole Pedro nonsense, and I think that's a great segue into what is going on here. What is all this chemistry that I'm detecting? How do you guys know each other?
Well, we started out in college. The three of us were in a band called the Amphibious Man, and then down the line we started playing with Matt in Amphibious Man. He used to be in another band that we used to play with a lot in Connecticut, and then
Look it up, Langosta on Bandcamp.
yes, Langosta.
That means lobster in Spanish.
Such,
it does.
such a good band.
But when Matt moved out here, he joined the Amphibious Man. We played together.
His name's Matt, by the way, not Pedro.
Then Jason moved back to the East Coast.
I don't know who that is.
And we've started playing Cellar Smellar tunes again. We started Cellar Smellar stuff back in probably 2014, 13.
Nice. So Cellar Smellar is a really interesting name. I don't think I've quite encountered one as unique and thought-evoking. What is the origin of Cellar Smellar? Where did that name come from?
It's actually just this phrase from Prohibition, and it was people would, when they came over to people's houses, would go over and smell the cellar for alcohol. But there's no real significance to it.
Wow.
I did not know that.
I didn't know.
I didn't know that.
No idea.
So you must really like alcohol.
No, not particularly. No.
By the way, everyone, we do have our official Pink Sofa Hour mascot in the studio today, the illustrious Scooter. He's a very good boy. He's been having some tummy problems today, but I don't think there'll be too much of an issue.
Also our official alcohol sponsor for today. Ford Nose's American Pale.
No, please. Okay, cut that. Thank you. So your first album that you put out was in 2015.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Goodbye College. Did you name that because you were leaving college at the time?
Yeah, it was just kind of like we actually recorded that album during finals week of senior year of college, and we did it all in one night, and it just felt kind of fitting.
Wow. So that all happened in one night.
Yep. Yeah, it was done by our friend Cam Boucher, and yeah, it was an awesome experience.
That's really, really cool. Huh. I happen to know a little bit about some of your college experience, and I have some questions about it, actually.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea why people used to call you Cruiser?
Ooh. One of you can take this one.
Why don't you take it?
Okay. Matt, do you know the story?
I know, but
You know what? Alright, I'll do it. So, Mikey, we would all go to this place in Hunter, New York, once a year, for a bit of a psychedelic retreat. And Mikey was on a heavy dose of mushrooms, as was many other people there. Other people were on other types of drugs, doing other things. But our friend Will his family would come up because it was his family's place, and we were introduced to an odd character, which was Will's cousin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, his cousin, and he had a hot rod.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right. He had a hot rod.
A big stinking truck.
A big honking
A Bronco.
a Bronco.
Yep.
Wow.
Okay, see, 'cause I didn't know.
refurbished Bronco.
Wow.
Yep.
So, Mikey comes bursting out in a fit of psychedelic ecstasy out of the front door, and he's met, and kind of one of those things where your whole life changes when you leave the door during a trip or something. The cousin just sees Mikey and is like, "Hey, you want to drive this hot rod? You want to drive my hog?" And then Mikey just, in a daze, takes the keys, gets in the car, and is now with the cousin in there and driving. But
It's
just,
pretty awkward in there.
and it's yeah, Mikey. I'm gonna pass it back. I want you to take you like in the car with the guy because I wasn't there.
Well, we didn't really go very far. Let's just say that it was just down the road, and I kind of had this memory come into my head that I was supposed to be on a hike with some other people from the trip, and one of the guys also was named Mike, and so suddenly I started asking, "Where's Mike?" And the guy got all freaked out, and I pretty much told him I wanted to go back, and we just turned right back around.
Wow.
Yeah,
And so when you came back, people just started calling you the cruiser?
that's right, cruiser.
Cruiser.
Because you can cruise in anything.
Wow.
Actually, if you
At any
can
time.
bring it up, I don't know if you can do things like bring it up.
Can we bring that up?
We're not on the the Robe Jobin
The Robe
show or
Jobin.
something. But there's a picture. Mikey went for Halloween one year as Cruiser, so there's a picture of him as Cruiser.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
He dresses up like him, like sometimes, but he lives that lifestyle every day.
That's right. Cruiser's gonna cruise.
I can feel that energy. It's very powerful.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, excellent shirt, I have to say.
Thank you.
It's a good one. I haven't seen it before. I was kind of hoping that you would wear the shirt on your album cover over here, to be honest. I can't imagine people haven't seen it. Anybody that's tuned in right now.
Yeah, everybody's seen it.
Everybody's
They
seen
can
that
bring it
shirt.
up.
Can we bring that up?
They can bring
Jamie.
it up.
It is kind of an iconic shirt. It's the album cover for Some Stranger, and do you want to tell the story of how you found that shirt? Why you wanted to shoot in a shirt that is so distinctively shiny,
There's
special?
honestly no real story to it. I just looked around online I was looking at turtlenecks for the album cover, and then that just came up, and I was like, that's it. That's what's gonna be worn on the cover, and yeah,
And he looked damn good.
I looked fine.
He looks incredible. Yes.
Okay.
For anybody that hasn't seen it, please go look up Some Stranger, because it's quite a treat. And if you ever go see Cellar Smellar live, occasionally Mikey has been known to wear it. So it's a nice little extra treat in case you like coming out. So a little bit back to Goodbye College, and in particular Waste of Space. That is my favorite track from that album in particular. What was sort of, now that I know that the whole album was written in one night, I guess, how did you arrive at all of these themes inside of that song in particular, and how do you feel like it fit in the rest of the album? Did you like write that song first? Did it kind of flow in between some of the other tracks?
Yeah, so all the songs were written. It would just, our friend just had recording time, so that was just the night you just pump them all
Gotcha.
out.
Okay, you didn't write them all that night.
No,
That would be sick.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
That'd be
But
Next time.
Waste of Space. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I definitely had like a lot of different emotions, especially at that time in college and everything. So yeah, I guess it was just kind of like an expression of like how I was feeling at the time.
Cool. Yeah. And it's a really great sort of, I think, example of some of the lyrical songwriting that you do that has a lot of depth and meaning, and I feel like also is really easy to understand because it's kind of vulnerable. It's very relatable, right? Do you have any particular favorites that you wrote from Goodbye College that you feel like touched on any of those subjects in particular?
I think my favorite always from Goodbye College was Can I Stand It? It was just like one of the first songs I ever wrote, and yeah, I don't know. I think it really sums up like what the album is about. You know, it's like searching for some type of meaning in what's going to happen after I finish college and everything. You know, going out into the world and like, who am I going to be someday?
Yeah,
Sounds
that
like
makes
a
sense.
lyric.
That's right.
Uh-oh.
No, that's like Be Alive, another track on that,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly. And
Said,
that
where is he going and who is he gonna be?
yeah, and those were
Straight from
written
the album.
very close together, which is why they are kind of like linked together for me.
Cool.
Forever now, since the internet.
Right. That makes sense. So, something I like to ask a lot is how it is that you started doing music, where it is that you learned it, what it is that inspired you to get into performing it, what instrument you started on, stuff of that nature. Do you guys want to kind of touch on that one at a time and just talk about what it is exactly that made you want to do what you're doing today?
Yeah.
Also, excuse me, I'm going to pass through the front of the camera for a second while I turn the chat back on.
You gotta see the chat.
Yeah.
We gotta see the chat.
I started out on piano when I was 5 or 6 years old, and I started with lessons, just like mostly classical piano, and then sometime in middle school I started on clarinet, and I did that a lot all the way through high school and everything. Sometime around like 13, I started my first punk band with some friends from the town I grew up in Maine. And then, yeah, now I'm here. You know, a bunch of bands in between, but yeah.
Cool. Johnny?
For me, it was when I first saw Harry Potter. I got
Which
home-
one?
Harry Potter 1.
Okay.
I came home.
Is that the Philosopher's Stone?
It was, yeah, the Sorcerer's Stone.
The Sorcerer's
in
Stone.
In America.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
We were in America. Sorcerer's
Still are.
Stone, came home, sat down at my Casio keyboard, started playing the Harry Potter theme song, just by ear. And ever since then,
Wow.
I've just loved music.
That da, 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 da. Everybody
Iconic.
knows it. It's classic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ever since I saw that movie and played
Wow.
the theme song.
That's a really unique way to get involved with music. Why'd you have a keyboard in the first place, though?
Because, you know, it was just sitting around,
Oh, okay.
just hanging out.
Okay, makes sense. Jake?
Started playing music. Well, specifically bass.
Or
my
whatever story you want to tell, you know? If
Oh,
it
I
was
know.
a
I
different
was
instrument.
just leading. It was like an intro to what I was just gonna say.
Oh,
was
I see.
saying specifically bass. My neighbor Billy, growing up, who I really looked up to, is a couple of years older. He was strictly a bass player. He had the Geddy Lee jazz bass, signature jazz bass, and I would just sit there and watch him play forever. And then, yeah, in like 4th grade, I got a bass, and immediately I just picked it up and loved the bass. It's always been my instrument.
Very cool. Yeah. Matt, who doesn't show up on screen because his posture's really good, but we're gonna swap to this camera,
Am I on?
and he's good. You're on now.
Okay.
Yes. We can get a little bit of your side of your head if we go this route, but I think you look better from over here.
Whatever you think, man.
Hit us with your music origin story.
So my older brother, Mike, he played guitar and he was always ripping blues licks, playing White Snake and stuff like that. So I thought that was real cool. So I wanted to be like him, but he was like, "You can't play guitar because I play guitar." So I was like, "I'll play bass." So I played bass, learned some songs, and then my bass teacher was like, "That's all I can teach you." It was like after like a year. It was like, "I don't know anything else, so if you want to keep taking lessons, you have to switch to guitar." I was like, "Yeah, okay." So I did that, and then I've been playing guitar ever since.
So you got into the guitar because incidentally you ran out of bass lessons to take.
Yeah, which was like ridiculous. Like, I just learned like some like Bachman Turner Overdrive covers on bass, and he was like, "That's it, bro. Like, that's all I got."
That's pretty cool. Incidentally, I think that I have a kind of a similar story. Me and my brother got into music around the same time,
Yeah.
and I got into guitar first, and then he wanted to play guitar, and I said,
And you
"No,
whooped his ass.
you have to go play something else.
Yeah.
The guitar is mine."
Yeah.
I don't
it's,
think I don't think it really matters in the long run. But at the
No.
time, I was like 12 years old, and I just
Yeah.
wanted to have my own thing. So, how's your ankle doing, Mike?
My ankle's doing pretty good, actually. Been stretching it every day recently.
Hey, let me get a little dap.
Yeah.
Let's get a little dap. Thank you. Little one. Oh, here we go. Oh, okay. Distance. Yeah, we got them all.
the fuck?
You gonna leave a boy hanging?
I got you.
That was a telepathic one. You didn't feel it.
I was like looking for the physicality.
Yeah,
of
We'll get there.
I
It
didn't
was
understand.
I just camera stuff. I want to make sure that we're all
That's
looking
fair, that's
looking our best. Happy to hear that, Michael.
Yeah, thank you.
You need an ankle usually to play the kind of music that you're playing.
Yeah, I think so, probably.
You do play the guitar standing up, so
It's true. It's true.
I suppose you could get like a peg leg or something like that.
That'd
That
be
might
pretty sick,
might
honestly.
be pretty cool.
You can sit down.
No.
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 No, don't say stuff like that.
Sorry.
Forgot to put up the water bowl, but Mike,
Dude's gotta get some American Pale too.
yeah, we poured that bowl out for him. Mike, you spent some time in the Peace Corps.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any stories you'd like to tell about that?
It's okay if you don't.
It's okay if you don't.
I just say, it's hard to, I guess, just sum up in a story or anything, because every moment was different than anything I had ever experienced before. Yeah, I'd say that it's definitely an amazing experience. It's too bad that it got cut short, but happy to be here anyways.
And I think it was COVID that cut it short, right?
Yep. Yeah, I was there for 6 months, and then I had been sworn in as volunteer. I was in my permanent village, and then 3 months into being in my permanent site, they announced that we were all going to be brought home. So yeah, I was actually in my second training, and they just loaded us onto planes and boom.
Wow.
Yep.
That's intense.
Yeah, it was within 3 days they got everyone out of the country.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, that's definitely not a full Peace Corps experience, you would say. Do you think you'd ever want to get back into it?
No, I don't think I'd want to get back into it. I just kind of realized it's not really like what I'm looking to do. I'd say it's definitely definitely a life-changing experience and everything, but it was really hard to get there and everything. I had a lot of difficulties with my ankle and all that other stuff. So
Right. So you guys have all played together in a band before.
True.
That band was called the Amphibious Man.
True.
Yes.
True.
In fact, it's what brought you here to Colorado,
Yep.
True.
In a way.
In a way.
in a way,
I
perhaps.
mean, we're always living together, so the move out here was the fact that we were all gonna keep living together, keep doing the band.
And that's a fun little side factoid that I guess we haven't really addressed. You guys are all roommates, except for Matt.
Yeah, not me. That's why I'm not on the couch.
We never lived. We never lived with you
It
in
actually
any
does
capacity.
You
I
did.
lived with
You
you.
lived with them
Well,
for
I did.
a long time.
I mean, like the
a
band.
couple years you did.
It was like
Well, I did
You did, yeah.
yeah,
with Melissa.
yeah.
As far as Amphibious Man goes, you guys were together as a band for a pretty long time, right? You played quite a few shows. You played here at like Underground Music Festival
Like, a couple times, yeah.
couple times. What was one of your like favorite experiences of playing together as a band? Any like cool, fun show stories, venue stories, tour?
Actually, one of our tours with Amphibious Man was with Langosta. Actually, our first one, and that was really cool. Had a really great time. We actually played a Cellar Smellar show in Portland, Maine, because Jason.
His brain was leaking.
Yeah, Jason's brain was leaking on
His
tour.
what?
His
Yeah,
brain.
he.
Was
His
leaking.
nose
Excuse
was
me?
always runny, and he had gone to a doctor. Right?
I don't know if we should be talking about this. Is personal.
No, it's
medical information.
it's interesting.
Jason,
So-
if you're
so
tuned
his-
in,
his-
say
his-
something in the chat if you want this to stop.
So his nose was
not
running
bad.
a bunch, and he had gotten it tested right before we went on tour, and the test results came back when we got to Vermont, and we woke up.
Turns out it was brain juice.
Yeah, it turned out it was cranial fluid, and so they sent him. He had to jump onto a bus, head back to Connecticut, and have minor surgery in order to get the hole closed up. And yeah, we continued on the tour for a couple nights.
We only played one show without him.
Well, yeah, the Vermont one, and then we played Cellar Smellar in Portland, Maine.
Where
Oh,
you,
true.
You,
Yep.
you filled
I played
in on
guitar.
vocals.
Yeah,
in
I played
Arlington.
Jason's parts on lead guitar and sang them,
Yep.
Wow.
and
That was a
it
fun
was
time.
ridiculous.
It was fun.
It was
Yeah,
the
that
whole,
was a really good memory when Jason's brain was leaking and
Yeah.
then we all got to play.
yeah, in the middle of the
Yeah.
night.
Warm, fuzzy moment.
I like that one. That was a good one.
Yeah.
I like when we
I'm
were
not sure what to
our
say
second
about that
tour
one.
when we toured with a superstar. I don't know if anybody out there. I mean, he's a household name at this point. Zach Roden.
Is that
Never heard of him.
Home Shake?
Nope,
No.
that was not Home Shake. We never toured with Home Shake. We did play to about 20 people with Home Shake
That was fun.
one time,
Yeah, at a tiny music shop actually
Yeah.
in Connecticut.
That's where we peaked.
and they were pretty chill.
Yeah, they were awesome.
And they're also kind of basically a household name at this point.
Yeah, but Zach Roden's like,
Zach Rowan, is that like the name he goes by, or is there a
I
band that he
believe
plays
so.
I
in?
think he plays in other groups with
He
different
goes-
names,
yeah.
but he has his solo stuff.
He does go by that name and it is his actual name.
it's like he has a couple signature moves that everybody knows him for. He played at the upright bass in kind of an avant-garde fashion.
Ooh.
And a couple of his go-to moves was shoving bubble wrap in between the strings, and then kind of playing the bass again, and then he would put a little cowbell in the bass, and then he would play the bass a little more.
Would that like in the bass, as in like through the F holes, or
Through
in between the strings?
This
Would that like pop the bubbles, or
all
like?
over.
it would augment the sound slightly.
Slightly. That's cool.
That
And
was cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
He's playing with a bow, or was he playing with a?
Both.
he was
Both.
he was playing with everything.
Who's to say?
Who's to
Who's
say? I mean, we saw a lot of wild stuff that I think that I'm not of high enough class to understand
Wow,
what we saw.
that's
traveling
crazy.
with an act like that.
That's crazy because you're one of the highest class bassists that I think I've ever met. So for you to say something like that, I think you might have to buy some bubble wrap and start to get into it, man.
I think you just gotta look them up,
Who's to say?
check them out. That was our peak basically.
Oh, hello. So, I believe that you guys have a couple of songs prepared that you'd like to play for us. would you like to get into that a little bit, perhaps?
Yeah.
Excellent. You want to talk a little bit about this first song that you're gonna have on before
Yeah,
you start?
this first song is the title track for the album that came out last February, Some Stranger. Yeah, I'd say, yeah.
Sun is Shining, right? The EP. Oh, Some Stranger, the actual,
Yep,
not the
Some Stranger is going to
single.
be first.
Cool,
Yeah,
excellent. And
I thought we were
just
playing on last.
as a
No, we're going to play
No.
When I'm Gone.
No.
When I'm
Isn't
gone.
When I'm
Scooter
Gone.
really likes music,
Some
by the way,
Stranger's a
everyone.
D1,
And if
right?
you hear him,
Yes. Then,
if you hear him howling, then that's a sign of
Could you
appreciation.
quiet him down though?
I'm not sure I can.
He told us that this wouldn't be an issue.
This is actually a test. In fact, if he howls, then you guys are doing really good. This is the Scooter test. We're debuting it for the first time on the last episode of January. All right, here we go, boys.
Sorry.
Scooter, please quiet down. Here, let me take it.
Come on, buddy.
You gonna count it in or?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Let's just play again. Let's
We
try
all
it
just
again.
come in together, right?
1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
4. Hard day, high stress. I need a friend who left feeling lonely again. These weak legs scream. I need sleep. I'm left feeling restless again. I'm starting to forget my name. Really can't remember my place at all. Place at all. Starting to forget my name. Really can't remember my place at all. Place at all. Started to forget my name. Really can't remember my place at all. My place at all. Starting to forget my name. Really can't remember my place at all. My place at all.
Woo! Nice job, gentlemen. That was excellent. We had a little Scooter emergency that I think was dealt with at this point, but I want to say I haven't heard that song acoustically before, and I really like it. Especially the twin acoustic guitars kind of play together really well. In particular, for the viewers that aren't unaware, Cellar Smellar is generally pretty overdrive heavy kind of circumstance, right?
Definitely.
Yeah. What influenced you kind of to take the band in that direction as far as a musical like genre, perhaps an influence? Was it like you really like punk, garage kind of style music, or?
Yeah, I mean, my even my first band was mostly like a punk band and everything, and it's always been my favorite type of music. And then in college, I heard garage rock, and it was just exactly the type of music that I had always wanted to play. I just, yeah.
Heck yeah. That's really cool. I always like to ask this question to anybody that comes through the show. If you had to have your pick of who you would like to open up for as a band, some national act or some perhaps even local person, what would you think would be the best fits for Cellar Smellar as far as opening for them?
I'm thinking Led Zeppelin or Pink Floyd.
I was about to say the same thing, honestly.
I would say, I mean, a dream one would be something like Ty Segall. He's
heck
always
yeah.
been like one of my biggest influences ever.
And I think he just came through the Denver scene fairly recently at Cervantes, right?
He came to the Bluebird.
The Bluebird,
Yep.
cool.
We were there.
You guys were there.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
There.
Nice. Not opening yet, but, you know, who's to say?
Do you remember the opener that night? The dude with like the acoustic guitar, they had to get somebody last minute to open. And it was like basically like an open mic performance for Ty. It was like hilarious.
It could have been us.
It was just one dude on stage, and like he was kind of like fucking up. Like he was like really loose performance. He like had played like twice in front of people or something. It was like hilarious.
And he opened at the
He was
Bluebird.
like friends. Yeah, he was like friends with La Luz, who was like obviously an epic band, but they like hit up Ty and were like, "This guy's in Denver if you need," because his opener like canceled or something. But I remember it was like quite funny. Yeah.
I guess last minute sort of solutions tend to.
They didn't call Cellar Smellar. That's
They didn't
for
call.
sure.
Yeah. Though they didn't open up for Ty Segall, they opened their hearts for him while they were at the show.
Interesting.
As they were watching the music, they had an
True.
open heart to watch the music.
That's really beautiful.
Okay, I get that.
So beautiful.
So, Cellar Smellar is on their second album now, Some Stranger.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys just played Some Stranger, the song, the titular song, some might say. Did you start with the concept of that song being the basis of the new album? Or did the formation and title kind of start to come after you started to accumulate some more tracks for it?
It's hard to say. I guess, well, like so a lot of these songs we actually have been playing for probably 6 or 7 years. Probably like since just after the first album was released. And Some Stranger was one of them. I just didn't really have many lyrics to it back in the day. And obviously I don't even say Some Stranger in the lyrics. I remember when we played it at first, I only had that chorus part, I'm starting to forget my name. And then it was kind of more down the line
Scooter's back, everyone.
that we...
He's all wet.
that when we were like kind of putting the album together during the recording process with Jason, that I really came up with the title track name and everything.
Interesting. I like the lyrics in that song in particular. Sun is Shining, I think, is my favorite, but Some Stranger kind of has that really cool open space where you get to do the chorus, starting to forget my name, right? Do you want to talk a little bit more about the lyrics? What inspired you to write them? What it is exactly that gave you that inspiration, I suppose? Yeah.
I guess that one's kind of a hard one for me. Lyrics, especially like the chorus, I guess it just kind of came with the writing of the song. I wasn't necessarily like thinking much about like, oh, I want to write this certain chorus about this certain thing. It was more, I wrote the chorus and then I workshopped the rest of the lyrics just in the studio. Yeah, I don't think there's much significance to the lyrics other than, again, more
It's
emotions.
basically just mumbo jumbo.
It's mumbo jumbo.
He
really.
basically like forgot his name,
Yep.
and then
Everything else.
And then I couldn't
he couldn't.
remember where I was
I
supposed
keep
to
telling
be.
him,
Right,
Mike.
his
I keep
place, he
saying,
didn't
Mike.
have a place.
It's Mike.
Yeah, I still don't know.
His name's Mike.
That's weird because I thought it was Pedro.
I mean Pedro.
Huh.
God.
Yeah.
Oh.
Just wondering, from this side of the couch room. I think, how many songs did you guys want to play today?
We have 3 that we prepared.
Cool. Should
We
we
have like
hop?
7 or 8 more.
We have
He really wants to play 7 or 8. I'm not
Probably
doing
have time if you
No.
guys want, but
We are not doing that.
What's the second one that you got for us today?
The next one's gonna be Sun is Shining.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's the one I wanted to hear.
There we go.
Let's let her rip.
All right.
You need the snark, Mike. What do you think?
No, I'm good. Because I'm still in D.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
I'm in standard tuning.
Great. Okay, I'll start it up. Sun is shining up over the trees, and I can't seem to help but hope you notice me. Someone help me, I need a relief, and I can't seem to help but hope you notice me. You can tell by the way I dress, you can tell by the way I move my hair. You can tell by the way I act, or in the way that I stand. I want you to see me, I'm begging you to say, I want you to know me, make that real someday. Sun is shining up over the trees, and I can't seem to help but hope you notice me. Someone help me, I need a relief, and I can't seem to help but hope you notice me. You can tell by the way I dress, you can tell by the way I comb my hair. You can tell by the way I act, or in the way that I stand. I want you to see me, I'm begging you to say, I want you to know me, take care of me someday. Can't stand it, I really can't stand the way you make, the way you make me feel. Can't stand it, I really can't stand the way you make me feel. The sun is shining up over the trees, and I can't seem to help but hope you notice me. Someone help me, I
nice, guys. That was sick. It feels good to hear that song live and acoustic. That was really special, and I think Scooter thought so as well. I'm not sure if
Scooter hit a perfect note. There.
Seriously.
the viewers might have
Perfect
heard that.
backup vocalist. I might add him to the band, honestly.
He is available for hire. His rates are pretty ridiculous, honestly, but he is a known.
very good.
Wait,
He's
I
a
don't
very
have to
good
pay
boy.
for today, right?
We'll send you the invoice later,
Okay.
but you know, it's
Take it out of our per
the
diem.
first song's on
Take
him.
it out of our PS5.
The PS5 button.
Just because I know he's listening right now. Fun fact about that song is I wrote it in one of my brother's old apartments in Portland. It was a long time ago, like I think like 6-7 years ago. And I remember one of his roommates just had a guitar sitting around, and I was playing around with it, and I wrote that song out.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I had no idea about that.
Yeah, I just thought that was fun because
I knew that.
I know that my brother and my parents are in here. So hey guys,
Oh snap!
Hey Laurie, hey Gunner, hey Dan.
Let's get a yeehaw in the chat from all the people here.
Do you think someone
Can
could
we get a
say
yeehaw in
for
the
the
chat?
family?
Go ahead and
Maybe just like a
let
little
your
cowboy hat
yeehaws
emoji.
out.
Please just type yeehaw.
Someone give me
Get
a
anyone
Just
say
one,
yeehaw
a single
in the
yeehaw.
chat.
That's all we're
Yeehaw.
asking for.
Just give me your yeehaw.
All right, we'll check back in later
Yeah,
for
we'll
the
check back
yeehaws.
later.
Damn, I mean,
I just need one yeehaw.
You know, that's really cool, though. I think that sometimes we get a lot of.
So proud.
Let's go.
Thank you, Ian.
That's two.
And Jay Jarzum.
jars.
Fantastic. You know, it's really funny to me sometimes. You guys obviously know each other really well. You've played in bands before. You've been roommates for a long time, but you discover all kinds of new things with experiences like this because the people have to know all the answers to all the most intimate questions. That's why we're here. So, Portland. You're not from Portland.
No, I'm originally from a town called Gardner in Maine, which is right near the capital of Maine. But when I was in high school, we moved to Westbrook, which is just outside of Portland. So I went to 3 years of high school just outside of Portland.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a very coast-to-coast sort of situation. What do Mainers call themselves? Mainites?
No, Mainers is
Mainers.
exactly.
Mainers.
Yeah,
Okay.
But also there's the military phrase, the maniacs, which
Oh.
that's another thing.
I feel like I've called you a maniac once or twice already by accident, but I feel like it's even more something I'm going to start using now. Sean, where are you from?
Hey, Pedro.
Hey.
I'm from outside of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
There we go. There we go.
A little gritty.
Anybody know
There
who
he
that
is. Oh, I don't.
He's a dirty little monster named Gritty.
Is that like a sports thing?
It's a sports thing.
Yeah,
Philly Flyers, baby.
Philly
Poppy,
Flyers.
Poppy, ever heard of it? I got him.
Damn.
Nice,
That's
guys.
Philly style.
Yeah.
That is
And
Philly
and
style.
Jake, where are you from?
I'm from Massachusetts.
Boston, Massachusetts.
No.
No, I'm not a city boy. I never grew up in the city. I grew up in I grew up in Beverly, Mass, which is
We have a mug.
it's on the North Shore.
Tell them about the mug.
Tell them about the mug. I have a mug that says Beverly, Massachusetts on it, and it has a picture of the lighthouse.
Tell them about how you get mad when I use it. I'm from Philly.
There's some.
When I wake up and I'm looking for my Joe and I don't have my Beverly, Mass coffee mug, and then I see Sean come around the corner with a piping hot cup of Joe filled in my Beverly mug.
Big Philly sports jerseys on.
And he doesn't even have anything Philly that I could take in response. He just took my hometown mug.
Wow.
That's the way that I remember home when I'm so far away. So.
Coffee tastes the best out of
Sad.
this.
You could twist him and like steal his Philly clothes and like keep him in the.
Like he has so many, it wouldn't even matter. He'd be like, "Take it."
I would.
That's
Yeah.
true. He has no mug like that he really loves the most.
No.
You'll have to get him a mug that he really likes so that you can take it from him.
Yeah.
That's not a bad idea.
That's
But he'll have to forget about it since you just told him right in front of him. So
Now I know.
now
Who's
he
to
knows.
Who's to say? Who's to say?
Maybe next Christmas Santa will come by.
Hey,
Get me a new mug.
hey,
I
Matt.
don't know.
Hey Matt, where are you from?
Manchester, Connecticut. Represent.
Represent.
Thank you.
I thought his name was Pedro.
Oh, I meant Pedro. Yeah.
My bad.
Same.
Anyway,
Many names.
Hey, where are you from?
I'm from Venezuela.
Oh.
Caracas, Venezuela. But I grew up in Miami, Florida.
Venezuela.
Thanks for asking. But this is about you guys.
Okay.
So all East Coasters, really. That's really cool that you guys all found yourselves here in Colorado. Specifically,
Well, we all met in Connecticut and then we moved together.
that was actually my next
So it
question.
wasn't that weird.
Where is it that you guys met in Connecticut?
We well, so the three of us went to University of Hartford, in West Hartford, Connecticut, and we met Matt. I think mostly through music connections.
Yeah, I met you all
Oh.
at the show at Woodbury Town Hall.
That's right.
We played together. Our bands played together.
And you were it was Super Nature at the time.
Yeah.
Yep.
We
Oh
played
my
with
god, that was
Guru.
such a
Opened
that was
for
a great
Guru.
show.
Yep. Yeah.
Open for Guru, world famous band.
That's amazing. You guys have another song you'd like to play? I think we're about 13 minutes away from the end, and I want to save some time for some audience questions and a little bit of discussion about some upcoming shows and stuff. So I think now would be a good time to hit that third one.
Okay.
Okay.
Local.
Could you pass me that snark?
Snark it up, boss.
Thanks, Dallas.
No, don't worry about that, everyone.
What was that flying object there?
Oh, just a trick of the video.
Prestidigitation.
Also, did you want to mention anything about what this song is called, what it's about?
Yeah.
What is this song called?
This song is called "When I'm Gone," and
I
I'd
didn't
say
know that.
this song I wrote after like the last relationship I had. Yeah, and it's just kind of a song like saying goodbye, pretty much.
Classic themes. Classic themes.
I didn't know that.
That's right.
Scooter, if you're feeling it, let out a couple hoots and hollers.
Yeah, please. Leaving pretty soon, you say. It's alright to run away. Don't worry about me, don't even pray. I'll be back on my feet someday. You won't even miss me when I'm gone. You won't even miss me when I'm gone. You won't even miss me when I'm gone. You won't even miss me when I'm gone.
gorgeous. Fantastic, gentlemen. In fact, something I wanted to notice was I love the length of these songs. There is a really distinct sort of like emotional climax, and then you guys kind of work around that in a really tight way and kind of encapsulate it. It's almost like the radio version is the real version, and that's kind of very thematic for like punk in general. But did you ever feel like you wanted to write longer music, or is this kind of like always where you felt yourself strongest as a songwriter?
I guess I guess I hadn't really like thought about it too much. I'm not like against writing longer songs. It's just a lot of the music I listen to have pretty short songs. But I think probably like down the line, I'll write some songs that are a little bit longer than these ones. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe
Cool.
we'll go 3-4 minutes instead of 2-3 minutes.
Well, you know,
There
the field is open for play. Feel free.
Maybe 5.
I don't know.
5-6 minutes.
You guys get kind of crazy.
Maybe 7.
Not sure.
Maybe 10.
You know, that's actually another question I had is composition and rehearsal stuff. Do you guys find yourself doing a lot of sort of creative explorations when you guys get together to practice? Or are you primarily trying to rehearse music? Or do you compose most of the stuff on your own by yourself and then bring it forward behind the band or in front of the band when you're at rehearsals? How do you guys kind of approach that process?
I'd say I'd say like especially for Some Stranger, you know, like I definitely workshop stuff with, you know, Jake and Sean especially.
Sure, you workshop stuff with me all the time.
All the time. But I'd say that you know, especially with the addition of Matt and everything, it's like now I want to focus more on like, you know, hashing out ideas and everything together as a band. And like I guess so far with rehearsals and everything, you know, we've been just rehearsing for a show or something like that, and I'm starting to finally work on some new music. So
Yeah.
so that will be good. I'd like to actually sit down and write with them, which would be different, and I'd really enjoy it.
Yeah. Perhaps a little psychedelic cruiser retreat will be in store.
Maybe.
On the subject of shows, and actually before I get into that, I would like to remind the audience that we have a screen in front of us where we can read the chat. Doesn't look like it right now, which I will be
We
fixing
used
in
to.
a moment.
Yeah, we don't have.
But if you guys have any questions, I'm going to go fix that right now. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat right now, and we will be addressing them as they come up. But right now, in these last 5 minutes, I always like to kind of open the floor for shout-outs, for upcoming show, calls to action, perhaps. What do we got? Well, we can address that one if you want, or we could leave that one alone.
It's just such a ridiculous comment.
It's a really good one.
I mean, I say you could try out.
Let's just say you can try out.
The accordion is very niche. It's like you're either polka, you're like dropkick Murphys.
I can picture in that long
Or this.
drawn out part in like that last song.
Yeah,
where we're
it
just
could
going,
be
"Ooh,
sick."
da, da," and he's like,
Yeah, maybe in the studio, you know.
Hey, you know, like I'm down to try it out. Just, you know, hit us up.
Excellent. And you guys have some shows coming up soon, right?
Yeah, we have one show at the High Dive on February 11th, which is a Saturday.
February 11th at the High Dive.
That's one of our favorite places to play.
Yeah, super
It's a cool
excited.
spot, yeah.
Yeah.
Are you guys headlining that, or are you guys?
No, we're the opener. Something like really cool to be getting back to High Dive is that the High Dive was actually my second to last show before I left for the Peace Corps, and it was the last time, other than playing like an acoustic performance, that I played with the Amphibious Man, which is, you know, means a lot to me. Yeah, it was actually during UMS we played at the High Dive, and yeah, that was such a fun show. It was unbelievable.
Hell yeah. How many shows has Cellar Smellar played so far?
Out in Colorado, we've only played 2 shows, but then before that,
In Connecticut?
yeah, not a ton.
Like 500.
I'd say less than 10 shows back in the day, but
Because we were going very hard Amphibious Man back then.
Yeah,
I mean, we
it-
played hundreds, if not maybe, I don't even know how
Yeah.
many Amphibious Man shows. We might have hit a K.
300 plus at least, 300, 400 plus, yeah.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, it was we played a lot with Amphibious Man. So this is kind of like I'd say Cellar Smellar was like the side project for a long time, and yeah, I'm just taking this time to like really work on it some more, and yeah.
It sounds a little bit like it's becoming more the main project for you, which is really cool to see because it's music that you obviously have poured your heart into, so that is exciting to be able to put that out in front of an audience.
Definitely.
And, thanks again for playing all of those songs for us. It was Some Stranger, Sun is Shining, and what was the most recent one? We didn't really talk about it too much.
Oh, When I'm Gone.
When I'm Gone.
Yep.
Right. Very good stuff. Do you guys have anyone you'd like to shout out? Any viewers, perhaps? Anybody, perhaps, in the room other than you guys? We have a secret backstage area for guests.
Well, first of all, I'd say happy belated birthday to Anna, who's in the room over there. Hey, Anna!
Hey, Anna. You guys can't see her, but she's over there.
Shout out to Scooter for me.
Yeah.
Shout out to Sophie.
Hey, shout out to Alonzo. Thanks for showing up.
Shout out to Anastasia.
And Sophia, of course.
And my childhood dog Bailey.
And-
She's not here with us anymore. Shout out to her.
Okay.
But also shout out to my parents and my brother. Thanks for coming, watching.
Heck yeah.
True. We have one more question from an avid chat member called S. McLaren.
Would you like to address it? I believe he is asking, how was your UMS experience? You guys trying to be back this year? You guys want to apply to UMS? It is actually, I think, currently open. They just opened applications for artists to be a part of it.
Oh, okay. I definitely will put in an application for us.
Yeah, we can email them.
We'll send them a type of email.
An
Some
Instagram.
type of thing.
Maybe a gift. But we
Yeah.
played twice.
Yeah,
we
with
played-
Amphibious Man. And it was so
It was
awesome.
dope
So
both
many.
times.
Yeah. The first time we played at what was the Irish Rover.
Irish Rover.
Yeah,
That
and
show was sick.
that show was so crazy because the Irish Rover is not a venue. It's a small Irish bar across the street from the High Dive, and it was absolutely wild. After us, the Dirty Few played, and I remember there was people who were working as security at the show, and they were kind of like throwing people out onto the sidewalk as they were crowd surfing and kind of
yikes.
almost roughing them up a little bit. And then I remember the Dirty Few calling them out while the show was going on. It was nuts. It was
nuts.
They shut the show down.
Yeah, they shut the whole show down. It was
Whoa.
out of control. But
We might have juiced them up a little bit.
We got everybody, and it was like
Got him
the
loosened
whole
up
place
for you.
was extremely packed, but it was right when the main stage got out at like 8 or 9 at night. So like just this swarm of people that you could see out of the big windows were like all coming, and then they all like were in the street like watching us, and it just felt like a massive,
Surreal.
massive crowd. And
Yeah.
Yeah, we juiced them up.
we rocked it out. We juiced them up,
we juiced them up.
and then the Dirty Few squeezed them out.
Yeah, that is for sure.
If anybody's not seen, does Dirty Few still play?
No, Dirty Few.
They're all still playing
disbanded.
music. They have like a million bands in Denver. All those people.
I know some of them are in a group called, what is it, Cleaner? I'm pretty sure. And yeah, I know they're still playing around Denver right now. Also, I think there's a couple members of Colfax Speed Queen in that band as well.
Yeah.
And then yeah, the second time we played was at the High Dive, like I mentioned, and that was an unbelievable experience. Super packed place. It's kind of the ideal place to play during a UMS. I mean,
Heck yeah.
it was right at like I think 10 o'clock at night on
Yeah, we had an awesome slot.
on like Friday or Saturday. It was amazing.
And was that the one where they set the scooter on fire on stage?
I
Oh,
think
we don't
so.
set scooters on fire.
Oh, not this
No,
scooter.
no, not this scooter. No, no.
One of
actually-
it was when the new electric scooter craze was happening, and like obviously, certain people don't like it.
Oh, okay.
And everybody at the High Dive were people that were like that, and they like brought one in and lit it on fire on stage.
That's remarkable.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing.
Well, can't wait to see you guys at the High Dive, February 11th. Opening up, do you know what time doors are?
We don't know.
I don't know.
Okay, well, you guys can go look up that information
7.
yourselves.
Yeah, follow us on Instagram.
Could
We
be
have the
any-
flyer
It
up
could be
there.
a matinee for
Could be
all
a-
I know.
It is not a matinee.
Could be
It's
anytime.
at Cellar
It's-
Smellar.
I'm gonna guess it's 8 o'clock.
Definitely
Don't
go
just
check
say
them out.
things, though.
Yeah,
it
you
might
know.
be.
36.
It might not be 8.
It's not 6.
9:30.
Could be any time.
Could be a 1 o'clock matinee.
They've got 2 albums out. Their name is Cellar Smellar. It's been a pleasure having you guys. Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks,
Mike,
Pedro.
Sean,
Love you, Pedro.
Jake, Matt, or Pedro, whatever you guys want to call yourselves. No
And
big
we
deal.
are Pedro and the Pedros.
Right,
Thank
right. Yes, of course. I want to thank you guys again. My next guest next week is going to be Shad Bonin. And yeah, thanks to everyone for tuning in, and have a great weekend.
Wait, when are we going to get
Are we-
political?